Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Andrew. Today I'm going to be doing a top 5 Wednesday, which these apparently were really popular for anyone who doesn't know. Apparently top 5 Wednesday, I don't know if anybody still does it these days. I don't know if anybody still makes top 5 Wednesday videos. I would love to know if you do, because that is like what I just love about this whole video idea, is that it's just you talking about 5 books that contain some sort of topic. And there's a Goodreads group, and it's still going to this day, but I'm not sure it's as trendy on YouTube anymore, but there are still new topics coming out every week. But there are so many topics that I personally never participated in, because this was all prior to me being a reader. So I just kind of want to just start doing topics that I think are exciting that I never got to do. So I don't know if there's like rules against it or not, but it just seems like a fun way so I will leave the Goodreads group in the description. Yeah, I expect to see these as like a staple on my channel, I think. I don't know if I'll keep them up forever, but they're just a good way to talk about 5 books that contain a specific topic, and they're easy. But I wanted to start this by talking about some books I think are underrated, and I wasn't really sure how to determine underrated, so I think I went with just anything that has around less than 100,000 ratings. I think if anything has less than 100,000 ratings on Goodreads, it's probably fairly underrated. I don't know. I think a lot of these, if you're on BookTube, you've probably seen them. And I mean, I get a lot of my recommendations from BookTube, so I'm not sure how underrated they really are, but using the 100,000 ratings mark seems to be one way to do it. Hopefully, I mean, as my channel evolves and as I read more, hopefully I can expand the list. Let's just start, shall we? So number 5, I have the Nevermoor series by Jessica Townsend. This I think had about 50,000 ratings, and it seems to be slowly getting more and more hype, and there's been an announcement for a film adaptation that's like a movie musical, which is very exciting. It's going to be directed, I don't know if the director is the same, somebody from The Greatest Showman, which has fantastic music, is going to be putting music into this movie, so I don't think it's going to be underrated for very long. But this series is just so whimsical and magical, and it's about Morgan Crow and how she gets whisked away to Nevermoor, which is this, magical land full of a bunch of friends of hers, and she has to go through her trials. It's just great. It's just fantastic. So I would say this is number 5. Number 4 would be Truly Devious by Maureen Johnson. This one is, again, I've seen it all over BookTube, but I think it might have had more than 100,000 ratings, but this is a YA mystery series following Stevie. She gets drawn into this like eclectic boarding school, and all the characters have like certain quirks that they have to be the best at some sort of, quirks is the wrong word. They just all kind of have a knack for something, and like Stevie is really into like murder mystery podcasts and stuff, and she loves Agatha Christie and Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, Sherlock Holmes, like that kind of stuff. So she is trying to solve a murder at this boarding school, and I mean, I just love, like, this map, I love that this is a mystery book and has a map. Yes, but this series is just super fun, easy to read, and I would love to see this on television also, but I don't think we've had any news about adaptations anytime soon. Number 3 is going to be Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor, which I also have in hardcover back there. But I don't feel like people are going to say this is not underrated. But it is underrated, like especially compared to her Daughter of Smoke and Bone. And in terms of ratings on Goodreads, that's the standard we're going with here. This only has 100. I think it had just over 100,000 ratings. So this is just a fantastic book about Laszlo Strange, and he's a dreamer, like the title suggests, and he's such a cinnamon roll. He's such a cinnamon roll main character, and he lives in a library, and he's shaped by stories, and I absolutely love this book, and I think there's a lot of hype around this book, and I think it is all well warranted. Like, I absolutely love this book. Okay, this one is like one of the only ones. I was actually so surprised at how few ratings this book had, but it is We Are the Ants by Sean David Hutchinson, which is one of my favorite books of last year that I read. And it's like a sci-fi contemporary kind of novel about a boy who keeps getting abducted by aliens, but the romance in here between the main character and his love interest, which I'm pretty sure it's Henry and Diego, or it has to be Diego. I was so surprised at how few ratings this has, because I think that Henry and Diego have a fantastic relationship. Diego is demisexual, and demisexual, if you don't know what it means that you don't really find an attraction to a person until you get to know them really well. And sometimes I think that's me, but this is absolutely fantastic. This is such a fantastic book, and it kind of has the vibes of John Green, who is a very, very not underrated author. So I feel like if you like John Green, which he's a very, people either love him or hate him. So I think if you like John Green, you should check this out. If you don't like John Green, not sure I would suggest this. And then number 1 on my list is The Diviners by Libba Bray, which I think is criminally underrated and has still not found the proper audience, which I know it's there. I know people would love this book. I know they would love this series. I know they would. I think if you like Cassandra Clare, you're gonna like this. I think if you like American Horror Story, you would love this. I think if you love historical fiction in the 1920s, Prohibition era, like there is so much to love about the series. There's so much. If you love religious people being the villain, if you love capitalism being the villain, if you love, I just love the series so much. Like, but I would say it's like if you take the horror vibes of American Horror Story, like I'm trying to think of a specific season to like even pinpoint it with. Like it's probably the closest, kind of, I would say, to the first season, like Murder House, but kind of to Murder House, because there's like a scene in a house, and like, but it's very different. Like it's just kind of like horror vibes, but you've got Cassie Clare type romances in here, but like kind of better, I think. And LGBT characters, gay characters, asexual characters, a black character, Asian character. Like it's so good. It's an absolutely fantastic ensemble cast. It's so good. Okay, so that's it for this. It's not this week's topic, so, but I'm just gonna backlog any top 5 Wednesday topic that I wanted to do and I never did because I didn't know it existed until like 2 years ago. I've been binge watching like so much top 5 Wednesday content, and I just love it because it's just so easy to watch people gush about their favorites. Like, we love it. It's the best. And you can see like the reasons why they're someone's favorite. It's such a good concept. So comment down below, let me know your top 5 most underrated books, and I will leave my Instagram, Goodreads, and Twitter all in the description as well if you want to check them out. Otherwise, have a great day. Bye.